Hey, what's up? My name is Jonathan Fink, and this is my audiobook series, free on YouTube. Up next, The Pokemon Gods Are Real, Chapter 8, The School of Pokemon. Every religion requires places of learning, environments where belief is not merely inherited, but practiced, tested, and refined. Long before collectors understood population reports or investors debated market cycles, the schools of Pokemon were already thriving. They did not rise in formal institutions or sacred architecture, but in the ordinary geography of childhood. Playgrounds, cafeterias, school buses, and classrooms humming with whispered negotiations. The playground was the first true academy of the faith. Here, beneath open skies and the chaotic energy of recess, children absorbed the unwritten laws of collecting. No adult curriculum governed these lessons. Knowledge passed through observation, rumor, and trial. Children learned which trades were honorable, which offers were suspect, and which mistakes would haunt them for years. A single card could hold astonishing power, capable of reshaping social hierarchies in minutes. Ownership of a holographic Charizard was not just possession, it was status, myth, and authority bound in foil. Rules emerged organically, spoken with the certainty of doctrine. You could not trade a Charizard cheaply. Bend cards were diminished. Hollows demanded reverence. These principles were rarely questioned because they did not originate from official rulebooks. They emerged from collective belief. They were playground commandments, enforced not by institutions, but by consensus. In this way, children became both students and legislators, constructing a moral framework for value, long before they could articulate what value meant. Cafeterias became the debating halls. Lunch tables transformed into arenas of ritualized exchange. Binders opened up like sacred manuscripts, their plastic sleeves reflecting fluorescent light like stained glass. Trades unfolded with theatrical gravity. Negotiations could stretch across entire lunch periods, punctuated by gasps, objections, alliances, and reversals. Every decision carried consequence. To accept a trade was to alter one's destiny. To regret it was to acquire a permanent lesson in judgment. Battles, too, became acts of education. Few participants fully grasped the official mechanics. Energy attachments were miscounted, abilities misunderstood, entire rule sets improvised. Yet, precision was besides the point. What mattered was participation in the drama. Victory validated belief. Defeat refined it. Each match reinforced the idea that cards were not inert objects, but instruments of power, strategy, and identity. And always, there were teachers, not the adults who often misunderstood the phenomenon, but older siblings, cousins, and playground veterans who carried experiential authority. They explained evolutions, corrected misplays, and perhaps most importantly, modeled the rituals: how to shuffle, how to sleeve, and how to present a binder. Their instruction carried the quiet weight of initiation. Through them, newcomers did not merely learn rules, they learned culture. Yet, the schools of Pokemon were not without conflict. As the craze intensified, many institutions responded with prohibition. Classrooms banned cards. Teachers confiscated binders. Administrators cited distraction, disputes, and theft. The sacred object of childhood devotion became contraband. But suppression rarely extinguishes belief. More often, it sharpens it. Cards slipped into decks, pockets, and backpacks, acquired new emotional charge. Hidden trades carried the thrill of secrecy. The forbidden became irresistible. Exile became part of the education. Loss through confiscation, theft, or parental intervention introduced believers to harsh lessons. Devotion, they discovered, did not guarantee protection. Value could vanish. Relics could be taken. Faith, like cardboard, was fragile. Yet, these wounds rarely destroyed attachment. Instead, they deepened it, embedding memory with a peculiar intensity that would later draw countless collectors back. Because the schools taught more than gameplay or collecting. They taught identity. To possess a binder heavy with hollows was to occupy a distinct social role. To lack such treasures was to feel the ache of aspiration. The hobby became a stage upon which children experimented with negotiation, risk, pride, envy, and generosity. Pokémon was not simply played, it was lived. These environments shaped not only collectors, but personalities. The schools of Pokémon are important. Every adult collector, knowingly or not, carries traces of these early academies. The memory of a trade too generous, the exhilaration of an improbable win, the sting of loss, the exhilaration when a rare card emerged. These moments persist because they form the emotional bedrock of the religion. Before conventions and marketplaces, before analytics and investments, there were only children gathered around lunch tables, inventing meaning from trading cards. End of chapter 8. Up next, chapter 9, The Teachers. If you enjoyed this chapter, please hit that like button. If you really enjoyed it, really appreciate if you subscribe. Thank you so much. God bless.